Hi everybody, and welcome back to RL's Garden. I'm Rob and I'm in Zone 6B, Western Pennsylvania. And today we have a lot of planting ahead of us. By the way, before we start, I want to talk about this hot lip salvia that is actually a Zone 8 to 10 plant. And it came back. It was awesome last year and it's back again this year, and I love it. This time of the year it really starts to bloom and show off. I think I had mentioned before that we are trying to put as many perennials in our garden as we can, and today's planting will be all perennials and everything that will survive in Zone 6B. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy the video. First up, we're going to be planting this Temple of Bloom 7 sunflower tree. We're going to be planting it in the spot where this dwarf crepe myrtle is. The location is really close to two of our raised beds. The crepe myrtle is going to go where this miniature Russian sage is. And the Russian sage is going to go in this back part of our yard. So I just want to show you in comparative size to our regular size Russian sage, and this one is like a smaller growing one. So this is in its second year as well. So that is going to go, if you follow me, over here. And this is a very fast draining area of our yard, and it should be pretty happy here because a Russian sage really does like to have very dry conditions, and it thrives pretty well there. So let's put it in the ground. I'm not going to give it too much of this bumper crop, just a tad, maybe to help alleviate the shock to the roots. And we will water you in later, and I already like it right there a lot. Okay, so next we're going to try to take this dwarf crepe myrtle, and we're going to take it out and put it in where that smaller Russian sage was on that part of the yard. So I'm going to use a pitchfork to try to get it out first, and we'll see what happens. Whoa, look at that guy. Oh, that's a runner and a half. Whew. Okay, well, still not done. Okay, all right. Wow, look at that runner. All right, so I am going to use a little bit of Plantone in this, not much, because I'm pretty sure that crepe myrtle is going to catch pretty easily, but just a little. And I'm going to add a little bit of this bumper crop, and he should be happy, I think. By the way, this pineapple mint that we have growing here, as opposed to regular mints, this mint is pretty controllable. This is the second year we've had it here. I really like it here, and we had mint in the front of the house, and I advise you not to put mint in your yard. We're still trying to get it out. It just tried to take over the yard. Again, this is a lot more controllable, and it looks nicer too with the yellow highlights. So there used to be an old peach tree here, and there's still some remnants of it in these roots that I'm trying to get out. Before we moved in, they were pretty much dead. The peach trees. There were 2 of them, and I think that is good enough. Okay, so the little tree or large shrub that we're going to be planting right now is called the Temple of Bloom 7 Sunflower. Let me tell you some things about it. First off, it looks pretty ugly, I must say. Hopefully next year it won't. It should have white blooms in the summer, and and then those blooms fade to these pink bracts that, if you come a little closer, we can take a look at them, and you can see them. One of the other striking things about this is it adds winter interest because the bark peels in winter, and that should be nice as well. So we're really excited about this one, I think. And even though, like I said, it doesn't look so great right now, it is going to look wonderful next year, I am sure of it. Okay, so this came in a little root pouch, and the first thing we want to do here is remove the bag that is around it. And you're supposed to plant the pouch. Now we got to make sure that we're supposed to put some slits in the bottom and cut the bottom. So that's what their instructions said to do, so we're going to follow the instructions. So I'm going to do that now. I think I'm just going to take the whole bottom up. The instructions also say to make sure you put some slits in the side as well. So we're going to do that too. Now you probably noticed the phlox that's growing around this, and I had to dig up some parts of it to make room for where we actually wanted to plant this. The crepe myrtle was actually right over to the right of this. So I did dig it up, but just pressing this into the ground, chances are 90% of this phlox will grow back, and this will look nice next year, right around here. The next thing that we're going to do today in our very busy day is we're going to be taking out the portulaca that has seen its good days, and we're going to be putting in this false cypress golden mop. And this is going to grow about 3 feet by 3 feet. And it's going to take a while, though, for that to happen. And it's going to look really great here. You can just imagine it right now. Look how nice that yellow looks in front of that triangle garden. So that's what we're going to do next. Can't wait. Sad to see you go. Now this is a very dry area of our yard. So this little cypress is going to really like it here. And it gets a lot of sun. By the way, you can see that the leaves are starting to fall here. We have a lot of maple trees above us that are going to drop their leaves, and we're going to wait for that to happen before we do anything else with the yard when it comes to mulch. So we're going to let those leaves fall, and we're going to spread them out, and then we're going to mulch when it's all done. So I think that looks pretty good. It's a beautiful sunny day today. The solar pump in the bird bath is really going strong. And while we're here, I do want to talk about something. Somebody made a comment, and I can understand why, that they thought this was a wasp trap that we had under here. As you can see, this is a little solar lamp, and it actually needs a new battery. But yeah, somebody commented on that, and I completely understand why. Okay, next we're going to put in this winter snowman camellia hybrid. And this can get anywhere from 4 to 12 feet tall, depending on how high you want it to be. Now, I'm going to put it right about here, and I'm going to try to let it grow so it can, if you've seen my other video with a hidden garden that I'm making, this is going to block out this area, and you'll be able to sit back here a little peacefully, and nobody will know you're here. The only problem we have right now, though, is we have some crocosmia that's planted here, and I'm going to try to move these and just move them over to the front up here. So let me talk about this plant before we put it in the ground. This winter snowman camellia hybrid is hardy in zone 6. So a lot of times the camellias will not be hardy here. So this one should be okay here in our zone, which is 6B. I want to talk about how pretty it is, by the way, too, before we put it in. It is an evergreen, and you can see the shiny green leaves are really pretty. The buds on it are pink, and they come out pink, and then they have beautiful white flowers in the fall. So this should, hopefully this will flower. It has buds on it. If we treat it right, hopefully it'll flower. So let's put it in the ground. So I should say about this camellia, by the way, that it does like to be somewhat sheltered, which I think this is a sheltered area, and it does like part sun. So I also think that this area will give it that as well. Okay, back here in this section of our yard, which we aren't usually talking about very much, we have a little bit of a shady spot back here, and we're gonna put another hosta in. We have another hosta over in the other part of the yard. It's blooming wonderfully right now. This one's gonna go right here behind this crepe myrtle. All right, the next exciting thing we're doing today in our yard is we're putting in this little Japanese maple that we picked up. It's called a Toyama Nishiki Japanese maple. It is going to get about 6 to 8 feet tall and about 6 to 8 feet wide. Now it's going to go in place of this gara that's down here. We're going to move this gara to the bird bath garden. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's not going to fit here. And yeah, it might not eventually. It's going to be a slow grower, and eventually this little walkway that you see here might have to disappear. But it will look really nice here. And so that's where it's going, and then we can just deal with the walkway on another day. So this gara, by the way, it's going to go where we have some coleus, and I want to show you exactly where right now. So if you follow me. So this coleus is just about done. So we're going to pick this up, and we're going to put our gara here, and it should look really nice here. We have a bonus here. We got 3 gara here, possibly even 4. So this looks really nice here. As you can see, this little Japanese maple is going to have really nice fall colors. It's supposed to be bright orange, and you can see it's already starting. It is a variegated one too, so in the springtime the leaves will be variegated. We picked this up. This is one of the things we picked up at the private grower sale that we went to this weekend, and we bought too many plants there. But no, there's no such thing, is there? So anyway, it looks great, and I'm really happy we picked it up at a really, really cheap price. So yeah. Okay, we're getting close to the end of our long planting day, believe it or not. And the next thing we're going to be putting in uh, are two of these Russian wormwood. It's called SunFern Arcadia. And they get about 2 feet tall and about 2 feet wide only. And as you can see, they have some great fall color happening on them. So we're going to put them uh, along our fence here across from our bird bath garden. I'm going to take out this Supertunia that is pretty much finished, and we're going to put one there. And then we have the other one sitting here. I'm going to take this lantana out, and we're going to put it in front of the raised bed uh, that is behind Christin right now, and we'll show you that in a second. Some of you may have seen a previous video I made where we moved a couple of snapdragons that were over here and put some yucca plants in. As you can see, these snapdragons don't want to quit. They look like they're going to bloom again, and they are annuals here. It's got a couple buds here. This one looks like it's going to bloom red. So we'll see what happens. As long as the weather stays nice like it is today. You never know.
So what I have here is a Rudbeckia hirta called Cappuccino that I started from seed indoors and has actually already been planted once. But there was a little accident. Someone accidentally snapped it off after I planted it. So I picked it up just like a cutting and re-rooted it in water. Waited for it to get a nice root system, potted up in this little intermediate pot, and now it's going to go in the ground. And hopefully the second round will have much better luck.
By the way, that person that snapped it off was yours truly when we were planting our Rising Sun Redbud. That little guy was down there. And thanks to my wife, she rehabilitated it. Okay, we finally are done. I thought my back was hurting last week whenever I planted. How many bulbs did we plant, hon?
145.
145 bulbs. My back was hurting for 3 days. Actually, I don't feel too bad today. And anyway, I want to thank you for joining me and my wife. My wife's name is Christin, by the way, and I'm going to put a link down below. If you're a Pilates person, she has her own Pilates channel, and it does a lot better than my channel right now, anyway. So feel free to click on it and do some more exercise work with her. But anyway, thank you for joining. Please subscribe to my video channel, and I appreciate your time, and I'll see you next time in the garden. Take care.